Rainwater collection. That is the big challenge. What's the big lies? What is it they don't tell you about rainwater collection out here in the desert? I watch a lot of YouTube channels that say, hey, all you got to do is collect the water off your roofs and for your places and you'll be set, you'll be fine. But that is not always true. There are challenges to that we're going to cover in this video. This right here is my first primary rainwater collection system. Now let's have a look at this. I've got a roof up here that is 200 square feet collecting rainwater into this tank here. Now the advertised annual rainwater for my area of Arizona is just a little over 12 inches per year, which if you integrate the amount of rainfall on that roof, it should fill up this tank almost twice a year. I should have to be emptying out. The last 2 years, it didn't put about 500 or 600 gallons in this 1,500 gallon tank. It didn't do squat. So what does that mean? It means that I was getting about less than 4 inches of rainfall. And that was not nearly a good sufficient collector area considering 500 gallons. Well, that would cover what I could personally use and need. I could probably get by on 300 gallons. But I got a big garden and I need a lot more water than that. In fact, I use way more water per week than I would use personally. I mean, in like 2 days, I'm using more water than I would use personally in a year here, practically, because I'm using 209 gallons of water a year. But I have a really large garden. So I need something like 38,000 gallons of water. I'm going to have to show y'all how I plan to solve that in the not too distant future. So rainwater collection is crucial to surviving out here if you can't afford a well, or if you're worried about your well dropping and not having the water you need. Out here in the desert, some areas get more rain than others. Some areas get a fair bit of rain and some areas get none, especially during the monsoon season. Last 2 years, the monsoon season meant nothing to me because I didn't get enough rain for squat until after the frost. I mean, frost happened in November. And so that don't really help me with my crops when we're not getting rain like that. It means I got to use a lot of water. Now, you may have livestock. You may not be growing a lot of food, but you may have livestock or something else. I'm sure you've got water needs. So you have to figure out what your water needs are and plan appropriately. Now, one of my plans is to increase the collection area of water very significantly. When I'm going to collect water from my solar panels, but that's nothing. I'm thinking about setting up like 2 or 3 100 by 100 foot watershed collection areas. I'll cover that in a future video, like how I'm actually going to get the water to the cistern I want to put in the bottom. I'm going to put in really large cisterns of about 20,000 gallons a piece. That's my plan. That's a pretty radical plan, but I think that's what I got to do to ensure I got water. There is another way though, because every year is not the same out here. We're talking averages. Some years you actually get more. And what I've discovered from my experience out here, those tend to be El Nino years. My first year here, 2023, was pretty darn wet. So wet that you couldn't even read the tag on my van because it was covered with mud. I got pulled over. So you don't have a tag? Yeah, I do. So that's one thing. But now if you take an El Nino year and collect extra water, you might actually come ahead. Look at this pond here. Last year, this thing wouldn't fill up in the summertime. This year, it is full to the brim and it's been overflowing. I got an overflow on the end down there. It's been overflowing. So this is what you need to know. Now, if you see this pond, this thing holds a lot of water. This is a very large pond. And it filled up within 30 minutes. And I got 3 smaller ponds. They all filled up fast. The other ponds in there have been full before, so they're slowly losing their water. This one has been full enough that in the past that it will retain water because all that muddy stuff is clay. It's silt that will settle out and seal the pond as it actually drains out. This pond is draining a little because it's fuller than it has been ever. But it's still, well, it did go over the overflow over here. So some of it has drained out a little bit, but that's because the upper levels hadn't been properly silted yet. So usually out here, if you got enough clay in your soil, you may not need a pond liner. This could save you a lot of money. But you're going to have it fill up and drain out about 3 times before it'll really hold the water. pond liners and bentonite clay are what's popular around here. They're both very expensive solutions, but with enough, if you got enough clay in your soil, it might just serve you right if you're willing to let it fill up a few times. To me, that's a lot cheaper than putting in some expensive pond liners. Now, maybe I could put a water tank over here and pump some of that water in, but even a big water tank, which are kind of expensive, would not hold but a fraction of that water. So I may put a garden up here one day and use this pond to help supply the garden up here, or it may supply my future house site that I hope to build back over here in the clearing. Got a bunch of kitty cats here today. So yeah, I got 4 cats now. Just give you a look-see around here at the desert. So what I'm planning to do, my friends, is a combination of having extra water collection for monsoon season. So you got 2 approaches. One, you can collect extra water during monsoon season, and 2, yeah, that's just what you bank in the tank. 2, you might have a larger collection area. I'm planning to combine the 2 in some fashion, more going toward the collection area itself. But properly doing that, maybe I can eliminate the need to buy water to fill my tanks and water my garden, because it costs an arm and a leg to drill a well out here. I mean, price per foot of the same well drilled here and are drilled in Alabama, that well here will cost you 5 to 10 times more money for the exact same well. I'm not talking about a deeper well, I'm talking about the exact same well. They will charge you out the gazoo here for a well. Why? Because there's such a demand. They got the demand, they don't care. They're going to charge the price. They get it. They get every penny they charge, and the well drillers out here are busier than they can handle. That's why they charge so much, because they can do it. It's free market, which for me means a well probably isn't the best solution unless I just come into a lot of money, which I'm not going to bank on that either. So I'm hoping to do more water collection area and more cisterns. As money allows, that takes money too. But it will pay off in the long run if I can pull that off. And I will show videos about doing that. These juniper trees out here nearly died this past year. Past 2 years has been really hard on them. A lot of them are dead from previous years. We've got a mega drought running here, believe it or not, and they just not had enough water. You won't see any juniper berries on them this year, not yet. In 2023, these trees were loaded. So maybe after all these rains from this Super El Nino, things will perk up and they will be loaded either this year or next year with juniper berries. So yeah, I got none. All the juniper trees and no juniper berries. So that's a situation with water. So what I'd like for you to do is subscribe to my channel, bang the bell, and click all if you appreciate this video. And you know, if you want nice clean products, consider going to switchwithgreg.com so you can get products that don't have all the contaminants in it, the stuff you buy off the store shelves. Again, thank you for watching, and Greg out.